Hanoi, Vietnam's capital city, with its 1,000 years of history, is the economical and cultural center of Vietnam. The city has seen all the ups and downs throughout the history of the country. Having significant historical and cultural values, this city is a must-see destination for any Vietnam travel itinerary. The capital is the place with the most cultural relics in Vietnam, with 3,840 cultural relics and 1,164 cultural relics. National Cultural Relic, Hanoi also has many UNESCO titles, such as Cat True, the Cult of the Virgin Mary, the Doctor Monument of Thang Long Temple of Literature, Tug of War. In particular, Hanoi City is located in the center of the famous tourist triangle Ninh Binh, Quang Ninh, Lao Cai. In Hanoi, you can easily move to many other localities. The weather in Hanoi and North Vietnam differs from that in Ho Chi Minh in South Vietnam. It has 4 seasons: summer, autumn, winter, and spring. Autumn in Hanoi lasts from early September to December. The nice weather creates a suitable temperature in autumn in Hanoi, which is one of the top choices for visiting this city. The degree is from 18 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius. The Imperial Citadel of Thang Long is among the most famous attractions in Hanoi for tourists, especially those who are fond of learning about the cultures and histories of Vietnamese people. The Imperial Citadel of Thang Long holds a special place in the hearts of those who love exploring 1,000 years of Vietnamese history. Each historic point has its own story to tell, making it a truly fascinating experience. The Thang Long Imperial Citadel was built in the 11th century by the Lai dynasty, marking the independence of the Dai Viet. It was built on the remains of a Chinese fortress dating from the 7th century, on drained land reclaimed from the Red River Delta in Hanoi. It was the center of regional political power for almost 13 centuries without interruption. D67 Revolutionary House, the full name of which is the meeting room of the Politburo and Central Military Commission. In 1966, the U.S. Air Force started raiding Hanoi. In 1967, the raids became increasingly fierce. To ensure the workplace of the headquarters during the war, the Defense Ministry decided to build a house in Zone A as the headquarters of the Defense Ministry. The house was designed and built in 1967 in the Imperial Citadel of Thang Long, called the House D67. Hoan Kiem Lake is a relic that has seen many ups and downs in the history of Hanoi, Hoan Kiem Lake or Ho Kum Hanoi is a natural freshwater lake in the heart of Hanoi. Previously, the lake was called Luc Tui Lake or Tui Quan Lake. Around the 15th century, it was renamed Hoan Kiem Lake, Sword Lake, because it was associated with the legend of King Lo Tai Tu, 1385 to 1433, returning the magical sword to the turtle deity. This lake is the intersection between many popular streets in the Old Quarter such as Hang Dao, Luong Van Can, Hang Gang, etc. Thanks to its prime location, this is a very convenient tourist destination. You can walk around the lake, visit nearby famous landmarks as well as learn about the typical culture of the surrounding Old Quarter. The Old Quarter in Hanoi is an intriguing neighborhood, home to a mix of Vietnamese architecture, green spaces, ancient shops, and fresh-as-it-gets street food, all of it easily explored on foot. The Hanoi Old Quarter food tour, with various street foods of traditional Vietnamese cuisine, awaits you to explore. The 36 guild streets of the Old Quarter were named for 36 trades or crafts set up in this area north of the lake and created high-quality goods to supply the royals in the Thang Long Citadel, just steps away. Today only a few streets sell the same products they once did. Some streets, however, have kept the traditions of the past. These can be great fun to explore on foot, and with your camera in hand. From Noi Bai Airport to Hanoi Old Quarter takes about 45 minutes. The most convenient route is to go through Nhat Tan Bridge, through O Co and Gi Tam streets and turn on to Tran Quang Kai Street. If traveling by bus, the time will be longer because the bus stops at many places to pick up and drop off passengers. From Hang Bai, Hang Gang, Trang Tien streets of Hanoi Old Quarter, visitors can easily move to Hoan Kiem Lake, also known as Sword Lake, located in the center of Hoan Kiem District, Hanoi capital. The lake has an area of about 12 hectares, surrounded by 3 streets, Lo Tai Tu, Hang Kai and Din Tien Hong. From Hoan Kiem Lake, visitors can experience the newly opened tram line to Thang Long Imperial Citadel in only about 10 minutes. The Vietnam Women's Museum in Hanoi delivers a beautifully presented tribute to the women of Vietnam across the ages. The museum is run by the Women's Union of Vietnam, which is recognized as one of the country's most powerful movements. Vietnam Women Museum in Hanoi features displays across 5 floors delivered over 3 sections: Women in Family, Women in History and Women's Fashions. There are more than 1,000 artifacts on display depicting the many faces and changing roles of Vietnamese women. The Women in History section showcases Vietnamese women from 1930 to 1954, Southern and then Northern women from 1954 to 1975, Unification, Vietnam's heroic mothers and portraits of contemporary women. The Vietnam Women Museum located in Lai Thuong Kiet Street. Just 3 minutes car from Hoan Kiem Lake. Opening hours, from 8 to 1700 hours every day except Monday, entry ticket, 30,000 Vietnamese dong. Hoa Lo Prison, a place well worth a visit on your trip to Hanoi, Vietnam. Hoa Lo Prison, one of the most brutal prisons with extremely cruel punishment, is a historical place that has witnessed the strong determination of Vietnamese revolutionaries and their sacrifice for the country. During your Hanoi travel journey, besides enjoying exquisite Vietnamese traditional food, visiting Hoa Lo Prison should be one of the top activities on your bucket list. Coming to this historical relic, you will have an opportunity to gain a greater insight into the life of Vietnamese revolutionaries during the First Indochina War. Having a prime location in the heart of Hanoi, Hoa Lo Prison is just 3 minutes car from Vietnamese Women's Museum, and about a 4 minutes car from Hoan Kiem Lake. Located at 58 Quoc Tu Giam Street, Dong De District, Hanoi, just 1.4 kilometers from Hoa Lo Prison, the Temple of Literature is the first university complex in Vietnam. Not only is it a cultural and historical relic, it is also where many students come to pray for luck in their upcoming exams and studies. As the first university of Vietnam, the Temple of Literature is a popular cultural and historical relic in every Hanoi travel tour. Visiting this place, you will be enchanted by its grandeur and serenity. Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum is one of the most famous works in Vietnam. Thanks to its great cultural and historical value, it attracts a large number of domestic and international tourists each year. Coming to Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum, you can learn more about Ho Chi Minh's life and his significance in Vietnamese history, as well as expand your understanding of the country through many nearby relics. Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum is located in the middle of Ba Dinh Square, where President Ho Chi Minh used to preside over rallies. The exact address is 2 Hung Vong, Dien Bien Ward, Ba Dinh District. To get here, you can go by private vehicle or public bus. The history and significance of the Mausoleum of Ho Chi Minh. In his will, President Ho Chi Minh wanted to be cremated and had his ashes laid in the 3 regions of the country after his death, but according to the will of the party and people at that time, the government decided to keep his body intact and placed it in the mausoleum so that people can come to commemorate and visit President Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum is a work of great significance, showing the deep feelings that Vietnamese people have for their leader. Today, Ho Chi Minh Tomb is not only a cultural and historical symbol of Hanoi but also attracts a large number of tourists to visit. Since its inauguration in 1975, many generations of Vietnamese people and millions of foreign visitors have come to this place.